Thanks for joining us for the Member xCite presentation. The Member xCite presentation is informative, interesting to the audience, and showcases the strengths of the presenter as an entrepreneur and their area of expertise. It's not a sales pitch, it's a 10-minute educational and insightful exploration into what they do. And of course, it's exciting.
For those of you who don't know Dhea, they called Dhea the networking queen, a title that was given to Dhea as she was seen everywhere. Dhea knows everyone. Unbeknownst to them, that is exactly what Dhea wanted them to think. Dhea's a natural connector, but also found it exhausting trying to remember everyone. So in 2009, she discovered a system that allowed her to stay in touch and hence in front of people and top of mind. So becoming memorable in a sea of digital clutter. And this is what Dhea teaches others. Implementing a tangible touch in their marketing strategy helps boost referrals and the bottom line.
Thank you so much, Alexa, for that great intro. Yes, relationship marketing has been my thing since 2009, but I think I was actually born with it because when I was at school, I was always concerned about the people who never had friends. So I always try to bring them in and make friends with them. Obviously, you can find me on all those social platforms. A little bit about me, basically started life as a career life as a school teacher, did a marketing grad dip, got married and sort of traveled with my husband. So that's when I decided to work with Clinique because I'd basically gone from school to school to school and then back to school, and I had no sales training, did really well with Clinique, did a jewelry fashion accessory business for 10.5 years, then found the send out card system. Again, when I love something, I'm all in. So I won all the awards there. And of course, I'm a proud mother of 3 adult kids still at home, and married for 31 years. So all makes me who I am. 2019, we had the why of what I do, I suppose, why does anybody work, is so that we can enjoy things, and family is huge for me. So we had the opportunity in September, October, November of 2019, before that big C thing came around, to have some great times in Europe with the family, and mum and dad as well were managed to come along as well. So what are we going to do today? We're going to cover, getting noticed in a busy world, some effective follow-up strategies, because follow-ups, people seem to not like to do it. They love to meet people, they love to get inquiries, but the follow-up is where people tend to fall apart. And then just the art of keeping your customers. Again, it's all about relationships. Transactional marketing, I believe, and a lot of big top marketers like Seth Godin and all them, they all believe it's all gone. It's got to be about relationships. People love how you make them feel. We try to bridge the gap between high tech and personal. Obviously, if you've got a huge company, you can't sit there and have a great conversation with every single client, but we can use technology to create personal connections. It's about creating long-term relationships and not short-term, and it's trying to create raving fans. And we want them coming back, and most of all, we want them to tell others, because that's where the magic happens. We want to stand out in a world of text, tweets, emails, and social media. We want to create the famous know, like, and trust, but I always say know, like, and trust and be remembered as well. And, it's really basically 101 relationship marketing, because if you don't, then it's transactional. Good old Google tends to come in, and when you start to be Google, if you talk to all the SEO people, if you're not on page 1, you'd be hard luck to get to be seen by, if that's all that people are relying on their search. We don't want you to be forgotten. We don't want you to be that little teddy bear that's been dropped because everyone's having too much fun somewhere else, and then go home and then you realize, oh gosh, where's that teddy bear gone, or where's that business gone? I met someone networking, I think his name's Bill or her name's Jane, but I've forgotten her business name because it was quirky, different. I don't understand what they're doing. We want to be more than just face-to-screen interactions, especially even with Zoom as well, because we just shut the computer and it's like you get on with your life. So everyone knows that the fortune's in the follow-up. Everyone says, the fortune's the follow-up's the lifeline of the business, and yet people don't do it. And I'm sure you've all seen this statistic. It's been around since I was a little girl. 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. They just don't. They get an inquiry, and almost half people don't even follow up. And I'm sure, I won't ask for a show of hands, but I don't want to know how many people in this room don't even follow up sometimes. 25% make a second contact. 12% make 3 and then stop. Very rare do people make more than 3 contacts, in fact, less than 10%. And yet, when we look at it, and I know even now, the 5th to 12th contact with 80% of sales being made, it's even more with all the social media and all the presentation, all the digital imprint that we're making. All those sales happen later on. So why are we stopping after 3 contacts? And, think about it. Is it because you don't have time? Is it because you don't know how? You're sick of getting that I'm not ready, I'm not ready, I'm not ready message. So we talk about the sales process. You've got brand awareness, brand consideration, got this out the way, brand preferencing, you got purchase of intention, then you go to the purchase, customer loyalty, and customer advocacy. This whole session, this slide here could be a whole 1-hour presentation. What we try and help teach people is that, as soon as someone becomes aware of you, you say, it's nice to meet you. You bring in a tangible card that will come in during that process. And then you just say, we're just checking in to see how you're doing. You might leave the next one. You might just go, it's grateful to have people like you in our business. We can't do it without you. Once they've purchased, customer loyalty, let's celebrate together. And then customer advocacy is thanks for the referral, because once they start becoming your brand ambassadors, that's where you're just getting other people working for you, so to speak. So we call that the client connection cycle. And the solution we say is send out cards. It's a brilliant system. It's automated yet personal. And it's, from your phone, you don't touch it, or your website, and then it saves time. It's cost effective, it's simple to use. Again, you probably have seen this. If not, if every month you don't stay in touch with your network, you lose 10% of influence. 68% of people feel this way, they're perceived indifference. They just think you don't care. And that's the thing, is if you don't care, how do you make people feel? Then people will go, well, I'll go and find someone else who will make me feel better. And you may not be, you're just busy, or you're there, but you're just not in touch with people. Again, attracting a new customer costs you 5 times more than keeping an existing one. So we have this saying, is like, it's an American expression, is that pour gasoline with those that love you. Those that love you, give them as much attention as you can. So yeah, again, we believe that send out cards is the best relationship building system in the world, to learn to act on promptings and to reach out in kindness so you can create those great connections. What does it look like? A platform like this, we can do the set and forget cards, which are brilliant in any industry, whether it's real estate. You do a thanks for the listing. 3 months later, you talk about their home or their new home. A sweet treat, you could send a gift, birthday cards, or Christmas cards. And the same in any industry. In finance, we can help you grow. What are your goals? You can create these trail cards that are personal to your clients, but you don't really just create them. Once you've got your words in, you don't really need to go back into touching them, whether it's legal, whether it's what's happened, why is it the construction, any industry, you can create cards, and we call them heartfelt, group cards, or scheduled cards. The system does all the grunt work for you. You don't have to touch them at all. Lots of clients that, testimonials with people like numbers. This lady here, in her first 3 to 6 months, her rebooking rate increased 30%. All the others are warm and fuzzy, because that's what the system does, but the warm and fuzzy leads to business, and that's what you have to remember. Have I got time for this little video? I think I might have to share my, sorry, for this little, where is it? How do you do, forgotten how to share sound again. Oh, here, sorry. Share sound is here. All right, this is just a little testimonial of what other people say, and it'll come
up. It's a really easy system. I highly recommend it. It is a way of ensuring that people know that you're thinking about them, and the gifts are great and so easy. And I really want to thank Dhea for getting me on board and helping me to make the most of send out cards.
And every time I send these cards out, I always get such lovely messages to say thank you, and what a surprise it was to receive such a beautiful card in the mail.
So basically we create these wonderful cards, we get fantastic results. We get a lot of people ringing up and thanking us because it's heartfelt. We're actually doing a personal note. I know send out cards create lots of different cards, So it's very easy, but for us as a business, we wanted to create our own. And for $99 American, we are doing that per month, and we can create hundreds.
Okay, so just a few people who are using it at the moment. As good old famous Mayor Angelo says, people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. And they can be your clients. It doesn't matter that they're clients. Feelings are what makes people move and take action. And I'll finish up is that follow-up business never goes away. It just goes to someone else, which is scary because people always think, oh, I didn't get the job, doesn't matter. But, you know, what could you have done differently? And if you want a free trial, I'll put a link in the chat. You're welcome to click on it or message me and I'll send you a free trial. But it's pretty easy to introduce and implement 10 minutes, a tangible touch in your marketing. So that's me. Thank you.
Awesome, Dhea. Great presentation. Does anyone have any questions for Dhea? If you do, pop up your hand or just come off mute. It is a fantastic system and the cards are such a fantastic quality. And they make you feel good when you're on the receiving end. Yeah,
thank you.
Hi, Sherry. Was that you, Sherry?
Yeah, no, I just...
Sorry, go, Sherry.
Okay. Now, when she was showing those statistics, you know, and I'm sure we've all had that thing where we try and get a subcontractor, someone can come do work at our house and they never get back to you. And I could never understand that until running a business. There's so many aspects of a business and we can easily forget to keep following up with our prospects. And so, yeah, that's something that I'm going to be lots better with and I strive to, but yeah, we tend to get so busy in every other thing, yet they're the ones that actually make us have a business. So thanks.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, you've got to look at what your client cycle is too, because I mean, look, I've bought things within, 10 minutes of meeting. I'm not, 10 minutes of meeting somebody, but things that take longer, you do need to keep them, warm and in and not just for, are you ready to buy? Are you ready to buy? Because who wants that? Because what happens is if I start recognizing Sherry's phone number, I'll be like, oh God, here she goes again. But fun things that we can create, it's a good way to stay top of mind. So thanks for sharing that, Sherry. Yeah.
Awesome, Dhea. Jane, go ahead.
Sorry, my hand up, I just unmuted. I was just wondering what with the card, so it's a system and is it for online? I'm assuming it's for online and mailing out that you personally have to mail out yourself. Is that right?
Yeah. So what happens is you get a platform, you create a card. It's like writing an email. You put a photo off, I would say like a Facebook post, upload a photo if you want, or your branding, type a message, hit send, the company prints, post stamps, and Australian Post delivers it. So you don't touch anything.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, Jane.
Yeah.
David, did you have a question for Dhea?
No, Jane asked it and I got it answered. Thank you.
Very good. Thanks, David. Sandra.
Hi, Dhea. Thanks for the presentation. Just I did use send out cards years ago, and I really liked it. And just a couple of questions around other functions now, because I haven't used it for so long. Is there other functionality as in can it be used as a client relationship management system? Is there any place for notes or just other little functionality that may be helpful? If you could share that, that would be great.
Yeah, great. Thanks for asking that, Sandra. Yes, there is. There's a birth date reminder and an anniversary reminder, which people can use for working with you. But there's also a little section with dated notes that you can write, met Dhea at BX. She didn't want to know me for a bar of soap, but I'll still be in touch with her. No, you can write whatever. We had a one-to-one, not quite ready yet, told me to call them in 3 months, and that dated note will come up. So yeah, you have got some CRM, and you can import your whole database with the spreadsheet, and you can put them in groups so that I have got a BX group, and like I've just got a text from a guy who's a real estate agent saying thanks so much for my birthday card. All those things come to you because you can automate it but still keep it personal, so it does save you time. So yes, if you get a birthday card from me, Yes, I created it a while ago, but I did intend it for you. That's the thing is people, yeah, it's tricky. It's a fine balance of automation. It's not personal because spam is spam anywhere, whether it's a card or whether it's an email. But people, when you send it right, will think you've just sat there and done it for you. But there are good systems in there. So great question. Thanks, Sandra.
Thank you.
Did that answer that? Yeah. Paul.
Thanks, Dhea. We've got Paul.
Yeah. Thanks, Dhea. I do know about send out cards. There was someone in the network 100 years ago when I joined, but I've never.
Who was it?
What's his face that lives up on the hill?
Not Ian. What hill?
The hill between here and Canberra.
Ian, is it? Oh no, Canberra. Where's he? He's in his central coast. Anyway.
So,
oh, not Richard.
Yeah.
Richard de Groot. Yeah.
Yeah, de Groot. Yeah.
Because I used to be in 4N years ago. Yeah. Anyway.
That's right. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. When I was in 4N. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those others here. That was what we were 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So I've never thought it was for me, but I've just had a thought when you're talking about the automation. And like I'm one of those that you said that don't get round to the follow-up. And I don't like the idea of ringing up someone and say, "You're ready to buy yet?" And the other part of my business with live streaming funerals, I don't feel it's appropriate to ring up and say, "Are you ready to die yet?" But when I have streamed a funeral, I just thought, with your automation, if I do live stream the funeral of a loved one of a family, could we set up that it actually sends an anniversary tribute a year later and then another year later?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Set and forget. Yeah. I think up to 3 years you can do.
Yeah. Well, that
and then you reset it, after 3 years. I think there's a limit on. But yeah. But I was actually thinking with your videos, you could do QR codes too, that you send it to them and a QR code, because now we all know what QR codes are.
Yeah.
And you got a little video too. We used to do QR codes probably when Sandra first, back in the day, but no one knew how to do QR codes and it didn't go. But we did a lot of QR codes with videos now, and I think it'd be a great, but definitely the anniversary tribute cards would be beautiful.
Yeah. So, remembering the loss of your wife last year. You're ready to die yet? Yeah.
How you died yet? Yeah. And even to the to the kids, the children, because they're the ones that sadly will be planning it if the others pass away. So yeah, definitely good ideas there.
Talk to you more about that.
Yeah.
Hint.
Joshua,
who was doing the one-to-ones.
Are there?
Thanks, Paul. Joshua.
Great presentation, Dhea. I have a quick question. Are there, with your system, is there a way that a corporate entity could have multiple people log in, like multiple advisors log in, and like be able to use the actual system as one corporate entity instead of just everybody separately?
Yes and no. It depends. We'll have to have a talk. Let me ponder on that one. We do have smaller ones, but depends how big you are. Like we have some small real estate agents that, want to say small, they've got big turnover, but there's only maybe 6 agents, not 50 agents, which I think may cause.
Yeah, I just need about four or five people. Is it just about 4 or 5?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I'll talk to you more about it.
You want it to be consistent. You want consistent branding.
Exactly.
Yeah. Sure. Okay. And Jane, is it Sandra again?
I think Sandra's come back. Yep.
Yeah. Sorry. One more quick question. How could you see this could be used with referral partners? Have you got some sort of?
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Referral partner. I mean, I have finance people that have got, accountants, brokers, they always just sending thank you for referrals or even gifts. We've got a gift. I didn't even talk about the gifts we've got in there. And that, they use it a lot. They definitely use it for thanking, referral partner. You got to thank referral, because your relationships with everybody, it's, whether it's the end user or the referral partners or, friends and family, you can use it for anybody, birthdays. But the other thing I wanted to say too, it does take about a week to 10 days to arrive. So you've got to be careful in your marketing. that you do schedule it, that you, when you want it to, like for instance, we've got what's it called? Shouldn't say what, International Women's Day, because I run a lot of women's networks. I've just sent out 200 cards on the weekend to arrive by the 8th of March. So you have to plan that. The only problem is, if the only time it's a problem is a sympathy card, because you don't know when someone's going to die, but it still lands at the right time because the funeral's all gone, everyone's left everyone, and about a week later the card comes to me with, oh my God, it was so nice to get something from you because I feel like I'm left, you know, people are lonely. So, you know, but we factor that in the marketing of you. So as long as you know what you're doing, and then we've got St. Patrick's Day, we tap into all the marketing, the big things, because I've said it with finance people, you know, you don't, you know, as a joke, you don't want to say, we don't want to rely on the luck of the Irish to plan, to save, to budget, you know, let's have some strategy. So you can tap into the funny marketing things that are around, and because that's what you ride, that wave, you know, why not ride a wave that's already been built by somebody else? So, but yeah, happy to talk with anyone, happy to do one-to-one. That's it. I think I've taken up a lot of time.